Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy Steve, and I'm joined by all these fine nerds. We're going to be playing some Zoo Mafia RPG. Thanks for bearing with us as we got started a little bit late, but no worries, we're here now. As always, awesome authors Robin Miller and Stephen Partridge. You can find links to them in the description to go check them out across the interwebs. And last week on Zoo Mafia RPG, we had a summit of the mafiosos. Several great crime families met at the Seven Kingdoms aquarium to facilitate a meeting between Don Piglione and the Hambino family. And it turns out that the facilitator for said meeting, Pretty Boy Flood, was so impressed with everything, he petitioned to get involved, and the prospective Dons saw the value in such an association, so he's brought into the fold. And you guys, after getting the Don Piglione, the pigeon of the that runs the crime family of the park, to agree to this summit, and with the goal of establishing an alliance in order to set up a speakeasy and kind of trade outside of the zoo. The meeting was successful, and now it has been several weeks that this has been going on. And the way it's been working is the zoo, there's been a crackdown. The feds have come in. The flat paws, timber wolves, have been infiltrated the zoo and have been giving all of the crime families a hard time there. They've been shaking them down. They've been dumping their booze and shutting down the speakeasies. And this is the answer to that. And the speakeasy that's been established by the Zap triad is the Zap Club. So you guys have had quite some time to kind of like settle down and breathe after your escapades. You're still not in the family yet, but you definitely have Carlo Hambino's ear, and you are getting closer to the goal of being made. What have you guys been up to?
I'm getting antsy.
As a quick flashback moment for those that might have missed, during this little triad get together, Tommy was reunited with his long lost brother Torrance, who apparently has after some traveling around a little bit has wound up in the aquarium just a few scant miles away from the zoo. And he did have Torrance's old favorite rock that he's been carrying around. And before everyone parted ways for the evening, with a little bit of reluctance, because it's quite possible that Torrance's favorite rock has kind of become Tommy's favorite rock. So there's this just slight moment as he hands it over where it's like, do I really want to part with this? But after that, things have kind of been, chilling out, and Tommy's thinking of ways to try to set up problems for the other families in the zoo without drawing undue attention to either our mob or the Hamiltons.
You said it was a couple weeks?
Yes.
I think Cobb would have been working on his side hustle with catnip and also expanding into just dipping a spinneret or two into the cabbage market as well, since there's this pipeline between the zoo and the outside world. And I'd like to imagine that, he's actually kind of become somewhat of real friends with Bruno just from seeing him so much and stuff. And, so that's somebody that he respects and, is concerned about their well-being to some extent. But at least once during that time, he had to put his many legs to the test to get out of a jam. Just, having close calls with these flat paws, and he is not liking how just the vibe on the street is so like tense and dry. Like there's not a lot going on.
The regular citizenry of the zoo is very mixed right now because they don't have the outlet and the ability to cut loose at the speakeasies like they used to, even though it was illegal. But like everybody did it anyway. But at the same time, crime has been way down. The Hambino family has been laying low. Carlo has put out the order to basically seesaw operations. The only thing they're doing right now is he's got Mikey the Meerkat and his groundhog underground ferreting special clients, VIP clients, out of the zoo to the speakeasy that they've set up underneath the parking lot of the zoo. So that's the only illicit activity that they have going on. So with that, it is getting a little tight. But the other side effect, the other thing that's been happening is the Al Capone and Machine Gun Otto's people are being decimated in being arrested by the feds, being gunned down in shootouts with the feds. But they are getting more reckless and desperate as the outlets for their organizations have dried up. And again, Carlo is having the family just sit tight and bide their time. In the meantime, he's got this little side gig of hustling things outside the zoo and into the zoo. But it's not, the profits are not nearly what they used to be.
My little spider brain is tingling. My cob tingle.
What about Eve? What would Eve be doing during this time?
That's hard. I think that speaking of friends, Eve has still been meeting with Alice from time to time, sort of just sharing, not sharing a lot of information about what directly is happening with the gang, but more like just alluding to things in the way that like somebody who works at a hospital might allude to how work went without directly violating HIPAA, that sort of thing. And like during that time, I imagine over the weeks, Eve just gets more and more sort of enthusiastic about this exciting life. She gets a little bit more into all of it, and like the crime aspect into a lot of it, to the point that like she's now like actively exuberant and excited for the rush that comes with it, and maybe like bordering on a little crazy, but definitely like probably just vaguely alarming to Alice.
Well, that being said, you've seen a whole new side of Alice as she has been going bonkers writing these expositions about the feds that have moved in, doing these profile pieces on Captain Johnny America, Bald Eagle, and Sergeant Mac McMillan, and all these different law enforcement, and doing all these like comparisons and analysis between the old law enforcement, and whenever there is a big bust or whatever, she's right there capturing the scoop and the story. So she has never been busier or more excited. And also it feels like, you've been concerned with her safety in the past. She seems a little bit safer than she was before, because it's more of like reporting on what the police are doing as opposed to like her reporting directly on just the crime.
Right.
Has there been any dirt on any of the cops that have come up?
Oh, wow, that's...
Yeah, at least a few of the the cops that were here before have been either have been investigated or under investigation for
none of the flat paws though.
The feds, nah, they're pretty they seem pretty stand up and have been really there trying to take a bite out of crime.
They're awesome reference. They're incorruptible.
Well, that we know of.
True. No, none of you have yet tried to approach them and see if you could get them to take a bite from the apple.
Oh, we're ceasing all operations for the boss man.
Oh.
Looking to find out what others have learned, kind of deal.
One of the things, you all have a open invitation to the Zap Club anytime you want. Since you helped arrange it, Carlo has been very, very happy with your mob and the assistance you've given him.
Hell yeah.
So you're definitely soldiers of the Hambino family. You're not made yet, but
What's Oliver been up to? Is it Oliver or Owliver? I ask you, Cab asks you that.
yeah.
What is it?
Just Oliver.
Oliver? I'm
And
gonna call you
he's
Oliver.
he has been making sure that he's being seen places, like not doing anything particularly illegal, just showing up and making appearances like at for one thing, Raj's shop. Like, probably went and made sure everybody over there was okay and dropped a considerable amount of money, like, because I did not mean to bring trouble to their door. But for the most part, just making the rounds and making sure people like see me and that, hey, I'm not dead.
I think
We gotta do something about these feds. These flat paws are everywhere. Sucks.
What do you think we could do?
I heard that Otto and Capone are kind of on their heels. They're not doing so good out there. So, I mean, maybe if there could be like a one-time truce between the families against the common enemy.
See, I don't think the Hambinos are going to go for that. Right now, they're kind of sitting pretty, while the feds are giving them two a run. I think we let the feds do what they do, and if there's anybody that we think is kind of worth their salt, we kind of see if we might be able to convert some.
Would be nice if we could get those two to do something about the feds for us, or keep them busy. They could raise a lot of noise, make a lot of noise. Just a thought. It's getting really lean out there.
Could we turn up the heat, maybe? Make one of them make a move against the feds and put a serious hurting?
Yeah, something like that would be pretty beneficial. Could be.
Well, the question is, how do we get them to do it?
I don't know. I'll look over at Eve. I guess we'd have to talk to the right people. I don't know who those would be.
What if we baited them out? What if we got one of them to believe there was some sort of deal going on? And then perhaps we could tell the other family that we found out about the first family's deal. And then we could go to the is it a Paw Patrol? And we could tell them.
That's probably copyrighted. It's definitely a Claw Patrol.
Oh, we could tell them about about where the families will be and what they intend to do. 3 birds with 1 stone, perhaps.
Yeah, would at least keep them all busy and set them all back a little bit.
Do you think you got the chops to pull that off?
I don't know. Just something that's been crossed my little spidery brain.
I mean, I'm definitely in for hitting them against the feds. Just, I don't know how much is widely known. Our association, if we go out there and blah blah, how much of that is just going to be turned against us?
Well, suppose for just a moment that we had a forger make a document very similar to the one that we found back at the what was the name of the ape's place?
Monkey
Monkey Cowan?
Monkey business?
Yeah.
Under Miami Ice.
If we had someone forge such a document and then plant it on one of the sets of mooks as they're gallivanting around the zoo at night, probably in a golf cart. And then we could convince the other family that that was just their information, not that we planted it there with them.
Do we know what happened to Monkey Cowan?
He was taken by the feds.
Oh, really?
And he has not been seen since, weeks later?
Nope.
Maybe we should go. Maybe we should go discuss this further at the Zap Club. Have you guys been there yet? Have we been there yet? Is that up to us?
That is entirely up to you guys.
I'm hoping to, catch up with Torrance just to see, hear a little bit more of his world travels.
Well, the Zap Club is definitely a place where you could do that.
Although our little hidey hole has gotten pretty nice over these last few months.
Mm-hmm.
As I look around, it's pretty sweet. Like we got a bunch of stolen art and stuff still, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not so foolish as to believe that none of Carlo Hambino's rivals frequent the Zap Club. Perhaps we don't even need to plant it on the mooks while they're gallivanting around. Perhaps we give it to them while they're at the Zap Club.
Right in plain sight.
So if there are any at the Zap Club, they're either finding their own way there or kind of sneaking in. Because now it's only VIP access from the zoo because of the lockdown. So pretty much anyone from the zoo is running through Mikey the Meerkat and his groundhog underground. They've built tunnels leading outside.
If only we had a lookout that was good at finding people infiltrating the club.
Yeah, I mean, where do you want to start looking? Yeah, I guess we could. We want to look for people that are trying to sneak into the club or sneak through those tunnels. It's under the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
Wait, right under the watchful eye of Johnny America too. So prominently there on the map above it. Well, there's not going to be anything over there.
Yeah, you would know that. They've got other tunnels coming in from the park. And that's where the rest of basically the city gets funneled through. It's kind of suspected that Midge Piglione is probably skimming a little bit extra to bringing in more people. Mm-hmm. But they're coming through his park, so there's that. One of the things, if you would be able to find out about it, or if you've already been to the Zap Club, most of the staff is all transplanted from the pigsty. So Carlo has his people. He just moved them over there for now.
Are the heads of those two assassins there?
He had thought about it, but he thought it might be a little tacky with since it falls under the Zap triad.
Did that stand for something? I forget. Did I miss that?
It does. Zoo, aquarium, and park.
Oh, nice.
So
That's
a collaboration of those things.
Love it. All right.
So, is that what you guys are doing? You guys are heading to the Zap?
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay.
We gotta check that out. Sounds like it's popping.
Yeah. So, the as you guys are, go to the spot, in order to get there, it's, basically hidden behind some false rocks and brush. It's actually fairly large because some of the larger animals even have been known to visit there. And also Carlo's not too small himself, as well as is one of his top lieutenants, Happy the Hippo.
Cool.
So Mikey's there with the groundhogs, ushering people in. He greets you guys. I don't know if you remember Mikey the meerkat from way back when in session 1.
The name sounds familiar. Yeah, he was somebody that Eve knew, right? He was like a informant or something.
He's the one you guys had to deliver the peanut rum to.
Oh, okay. Mikey, long time no see.
Well, yeah, I've been busy though. The boss has got this underground operation running and chugging right along.
And you're in charge. Way to go. You're moving up or down in the world.
It's more like a lateral motion for me, but that's okay. It's been. I haven't had any rhinos or alligators come trying to muscle in on me in a long time, so that's good.
Is it just like there's no conveyance? You just are able to walk through the tunnel.
Yeah. You just walk through the tunnels.
I'll tip him some peanuts.
Thanks. That wasn't necessary. I'm just doing my job. Kind of like an over-glorified doorman now.
Man, I tip my doorman too if I had one, right?
Except he's
human.
Because they give me one of them monkey suits now, I guess.
It might look good in some duds. Go to see Raj in the market. I have him do all my stuff.
Oh, you got good taste. Oh, I hear Happy's been looking for you guys.
I'll be sure to take a look out for him. I'll keep my peepers open. I'll put my peepers to work.
Yeah, well, you're gonna run into him, I think. If you're heading to Zap, he's there with Carlo Ambino.
I'm gonna put my peepers to work anyway.
Well, that's a lot of work with all them peepers. And with that, you see, you're moving through the tunnels. There's some other really hoity-toity looking guests. Definitely a little bit higher echelon than the folks you're used to kind of rubbing elbows with.
These are just rich people, not necessarily
just rich people
that are living the life.
Yeah, and matter of fact, like part of it now is Carlo Hambino's like kind of like raising the prices and selling the experience as well. But it's like minus a lot of the riffraff because they can't afford it.
Right.
Wouldn't mind getting my sticky fingers in their enclosures.
So you guys get to the outside of the Zap, and you're greeted by a familiar face.
Happy?
Which familiar face?
So many familiar faces. Nope, Miss Olga Orange, which you haven't seen her in a while. She's dressed up super fine tonight, wearing an awesome charcoal suit and styling it. Also got some nice hat to go with, a nice fedora. And Olga is a orangutan, and she took a little bit of damage in that dust up at the sty way back when.
Oh,
but she's fully recovered now and back at her job, at her post, but now at the Zap instead of the sty.
Hey, looking good.
Hey,
Olga.
You know what? I haven't seen you folks in so long. I wanted to thank you personally for getting payback for me.
It's our pleasure.
Happy to do so.
Do anything for your family, right?
They busted me up pretty good, but old Olga bounced right back.
Family first, Olga.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed I didn't get my own licks in, but them's the breaks sometimes. It's good to know the boss had some fine folks like you, you lot looking out for him.
Sometimes you just have to move quick. I mean, you do have a snake after all.
Everybody, there's plenty of folks inside, including the boss himself, and Happy as well. He's been looking for the lot of you.
So we've heard.
Yeah, word travels fast in the underground. So this place almost looks like a replica of the sty, with it's a little bit different though. Clearly, Carlo has a certain aesthetic that he likes, and since with it being so close to the zoo, it looks like he took the lead on most of this. You see the bartender, Longface McNally, the Irish sports horse, dressed in his shirt, pants, a vest, and bow tie. You got the singer Josephine Barker, who's also a Timberwolf, although that may have a different meaning for you guys. Black furred and dressed in beaded green dress and draped in pearls. Of course, on the keys is Fancy Fingers Rowe, dressed in his tux and looking immaculate as always.
And what is Fancy Fingers?
He's a kangaroo.
We have a kangaroo piano man.
He can really punch those keys.
Yeah, he's a real knockout at the piano.
Yeah. And so the one thing that is very unfamiliar and different, though, is the clientele, where you're used to being, around all zoo animals. Here's a mix. There is a couple like fish tanks on wheels in here.
Oh, cool.
With some aquatic critters. There is, matter of fact, there's a couple of them on stage, backup singing. There's you recognize some of the octopuses from the last event you attended. But then there's also a lot of city animals, more dogs and cats and rats and pigeons and other birds. A couple raccoons hanging out.
Wonder if there's any pets here.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. Rich humans got rich pets, right? Stands to reason.
Well, I mean,
I take a quick look around to see if anybody has like a collar with like a an eye thing.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of cats and dogs that looks like they could have come from someone's home.
You see that guy over there? Yeah, probably lives in a mansion. It's a free roam wherever he likes.
It's a parakeet off to the side, enjoying a martini.
You looking for some goth to take you in?
I think you guys might predate the goths by a bit.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you'd have to go way back to the other goths.
These are like legit. They would have been like, "Oh, remember those people like 20 years ago? They used to dress all in black."
Yeah.
Just avid
Century
fans of
people.
Bram
Those
Stoker,
crazy turn of the century folk.
And as you come in, like Happy begins waving at you. You can see he's in the roped off section where the Dons kind of hang out. And
I would
wave you over.
strut over there to not try to hide the fact that I'm getting invited over to the VIP area. Unless I'm about to get whacked, then I'm not.
So the VIP area of the VIP.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
So here's the thing, right? It is like VIP for the zoo, but outside the zoo, you're kind of getting a mix of whoever.
Okay.
But this is still the VIP section.
But this is definitely the VIP section.
Can I try to schmooze a little bit and see if maybe one of my forger friends might be here using my special ability, my ace in the hole?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Nope. Nope. I have doubles, but no bosses are showing. And I got a total of 4 plus, what is it, Sly, plus 2, so 6.
So fail.
So failure. Okay, so you're gonna take a -1 on the next thing you try. As you kind of feel kind of frazzled by all the attention, and you're looking around, and then you probably just realize, wait a minute, from the zoo, they may be working for the bosses, but that doesn't mean they necessarily are going to be able to get into here. You guys are actually been brought in because you did a great service for the house, the family.
Okay, well, worth a try.
Is always worth a try. So, Happy undoes the velvet rope and motions you in, and you see Carlos tap his cigarette in the ashtray, look around at the table, beat it, and everyone from the table just gets up in unison and walks away. And Happy motions for you to all have a seat.
Scuttle up onto a seat and defer. I don't even know whatever gesture people use to defer to bosses. I do that. We haven't really landed on anything.
So, can I get you guys? Can I get you fine folk anything? Something to drink, something to eat.
I'll take one of those Moscow mules. They were great at the sty. I can only imagine they're just as good here.
One Moscow Marvin coming up.
How about a snake bite?
Certainly. I feel like it'd be like a human bite, though.
No, it's an overbite.
Yeah,
an overbite.
But yeah, so like he calls. He has one of the servers come over, puts your order in, and things have been going really good here, but always a but. I think we're going to be in need of your services again.
I came out wrong, but...
So what is it that we can do with the family?
Well, for the time, these lousy flat paws running around have served their purpose, but now it's time for them to go. Their moving exhibit has overstayed its welcome here at the zoo. I think it's time for them to move to another zoo.
That's genius.
Or something.
That's a brilliant idea, Don Ambino.
So, do we go in and arrange some paperwork? What's the job? We have to take care of that part ourselves.
Well, I've been thinking long and hard on this. Our rivals, those psychopaths over with Machine Gun Otto and those cunning bastards that work for Al Capone, they've just been trying to shoot their way out of this problem. The problem is they just bring more flat paws in. It's like a never-ending cycle.
It's true. It's been terrible out there.
And also, all this shooting, it's not good for business. It wasn't good for business when we were doing it. It's not good for business when they're doing it. Listen, we need calm, order, and stability in order to offer protection to all the fine animals of the zoo. How can we offer protection when there's sheer chaos going on all over the place? There's a lot of money we're leaving there's a lot of peanuts we're leaving on the floor there to just get trampled and squished. And
swept up at the end of the night.
You're right, it's swept up at the end of the night. So we're going to need a creative solution to this problem.
Honored you to even be brought to the table on this.
Well, your lot has been able to exhibit quite a bit of fast thinking on your feet, finesse, tenacity, and, frankly, the stones that get things done. I got some really good people that work for me, don't get me wrong, but I think for this one I need an independent operator.
Yeah, I think we'd love to be able to do something like that. Look around at my mob.
I think it sounds like a challenge, and I like a challenge.
I thought so. And if you do this thing for me, then consider this your exam into getting into the family and being made.
I don't know what to say, Danny Bino.
Well, I wouldn't thank me yet. I don't think it's going to be easy.
Nothing worth doing ever is.
I do have one small request, if I may. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ted. Go ahead.
Tommy kind of like, kind of preens his little whiskers a little bit. Is like, when you say challenging, that's where things get fun. And if it's to kind of fully join the family, then it's absolutely worth it.
I absolutely agree. I do have one small request, Dan. I mean, if I may have the stones to bring it to you.
Ask away.
My colleague Eve has just been wanting to get on that stage since the first time we were at the sty. Do you think there's any chance there might be a slot for her tonight?
Oh, Josephine does not like to share the spotlight at all. But,
even headliners need a break, right?
But I think we can accommodate this.
Well, I don't know what to say, Dan Ambina. Thank you.
Eve just kind of looks at you like very directly with like shock, but then like also there's like that twinkle that a child gets on Christmas morning.
I'll doff my drink to her.
Yeah, and with that, Carlo kind of nods to Happy. And Happy shakes his head and walks towards the stage and waits for Josephine Barker to finish her set.
And then I whisper in Eve's ear, "Don't fuck it up," right before you slither up there.
Okay.
So, Steven, yeah. What are you going to sing in character as Eve?
Yes. Did you know you were going to have to do it?
Blue moon, you saw me standing. I'm a snake. Alone. Just like going through the whole bit. I don't know if that's time appropriate, but I'm hoping it is.
Yeah. That's
feels like it is. It's verisimilitude, not realism.
Hey. If we were playing another game, I would have given you inspiration.
Cool, bet. It doesn't help me here because I actually have a hindrance right now. I have a back, so we'll see how
I'll spend a marker if that'll help him out. We'll
you
say
don't have to perform. If you tell me Eve is a performer, then Eve is a performer.
All right.
I think she probably is. Like she would have to be with how she is a grifter. Like grifters are kind of all performers to an extent.
Yeah.
So okay, so do I roll spitting or
nope, you don't have to roll anything.
Okay.
The reason I made you roll before wasn't to whether or not you could perform or not. I made you roll to see if you could get past Josephine, who did not want you to perform.
Okay.
And yes,
yeah.
You get a standing ovation, and they're super happy to have a change of pace. Josephine Barker gives you a kind of a nod of respect, but there's something extra in her eyes as well.
Okay.
So that may come up later, but yes, you're giving the room to do your set.
Okay, and after she's done, Eve will kind of like sling her tail sneakily to Cobb if he's within reach, and just kind of like yoink him on stage when she's taking her bow.
Yeah, I'm lit up, man. Sure.
And then she may
you want to do a duet?
After the performance, she'll kind of lean over to Cobb and whisper, a thought occurred to me.
What's that?
This claw patrol is very effective.
Indeed.
Suppose the one calling the shots for them were in Carlo Hambino's pocket.
That would be a really nice benefit. I can imagine them like sort of talking quiet while everybody's like clapping.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm envisioning. Like just while they're on the stage, just like going back and forth, like very subtly.
Either way, I figure, hey, we might get killed doing this next thing, so at least you got your chance to get up there.
Just a thought.
Yeah. I wonder if, who knows? You're talking about McCready? Is that his name? McGrady?
Yeah.
The crime dog?
Yeah.
Wants to take a bite out of crime? Hey, you're talking about him?
So Sergeant Mac McMillan leads the patrols of the flat paws, but then there's Captain Johnny America, which is the bald eagle.
What is McGrady? Is that somebody?
That is, I believe that was the dog that is
at the Brantley's drugstore. Yes.
Yeah.
Peter McGrady, I think.
Ah.
Yeah, sorry. There's a lot of time. Or so, at least I have that written down near there.
Yeah. There was the dog and the cat from the work. Yeah, the drugstore, old timey drugstore, and but then there was also a couple security dogs that worked inside of the offices.
That's right.
But the McGrady, I believe, is
dogs are a real pain in the ass. Am I right? Everywhere we go, it's guarded by dogs.
They are, but
the pet store, the drug store, the whole zoo now.
But they're very good.
Like
at
we're just covered in bitches.
We're up to here with bitches.
Man, I expected the puns to be flying from Ted tonight, and Robin's coming in with the zingers.
There's enough puns to go around.
I get to share the spotlight. You're all good.
Even Dave's made a few puns throughout this campaign.
Ted's being as generous as Josephine. So Eve will say, they're very good at following orders, though. And we did already arranged one meeting with Pidge Leone and our beloved stool pigeon. Perhaps if we could snatch up the beloved captain or sergeant, then we could arrange for a meeting, a rather one-sided meeting with Hambino. And if Carlo doesn't like the way it goes, well, who's to say his indisposed audience doesn't make it back?
Yeah, he really seems to want them gone, though. But that could be a good temporary measure.
It could, and I don't know that they will be gone, because the humans put them there, didn't they?
Which means that it'll take the humans to get rid of them.
Exactly.
Humans.
So we could use
using
the
my
humans
feathers
to get rid of them.
If we could
but I think they would just bring more in if they all mysteriously vanished.
Oh, yeah, we can't disappear them, but we can get the exhibit moved to another zoo. If we could get... And what is the dog's name again? I keep forgetting.
Okay,
McMillan?
so I had to dig through, but which dogs are you talking about?
The feds. The
feds, yeah.
Okay, so the feds are...
There's Johnny America, he's the eagle.
Johnny America's the eagle, and Sergeant Mac McMillan is the Timberwolf.
Sergeant Mac.
Oh, dear.
If we could get him to, bite a human or something, that would be awesome.
Is Josephine, does she predate the arrival of the feds?
She does.
Okay.
Just so we're clear, because I'm not 100% certain on this, Josephine is also a wolf.
She's also a Timberwolf, yes.
Okay.
So there was already some here already, wolves at the zoo, but this is like one of those like big, things that they make a hullabaloo about.
Yes.
Like, and it's like, oh, that's the new exhibit. Like, they built a new enclosure, and since it was Johnny America new also.
He is. There was an eagle there before, but he was kind of like malted feathers and odor and really didn't care.
Oh, so they like
much.
just fixed up like the North American area.
Yeah,
so
that whole area was redone, and they brought in more wolves and the new bald eagle.
We need to destroy the North America area. That's Tommy. We're starting my jail.
Blow it all up. That's the
Smoking crater, just scorched earth on it.
So the administration offices, that's where you ran into the other dogs, and that was Hoot, Smokey, and McGruff. Riley was at the drugstore.
Yeah, with Shop Tom.
Yep.
So would we kind of have to break into the admin's office and get like some kind of transfer paperwork done? Like that, something feasible?
That'd be a good place to start. I mean, we don't know anything about this exhibit. We could at least get this is going to be a complicated job. That'd be a good place to start. Know what we're dealing with. The who's, the what's, the T's that are crossed, the I's that are dotted.
I mean, you've done that. You have done that in the past.
Yeah, we got other paperwork.
We broke into the office to change the paperwork to get us on the list.
Oh, that's right.
On the travel docket.
See, it's just like that, except more complicated, but pretty much the same thing.
So I think we could break in, kind of look and see like what is the format. Then come back with the information, and then kind of re-look at, like, all right, where can we get this to look official and transfer, and go in and slip the new paperwork in, and hopefully get these insert expletives out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Of note, Parks in the chat also suggested that a Lady Timberwolf might be able to distract the fed wolves, just throwing that option out there too. So we could have a mole among the wolves.
A wolf and
So the question is Josephine going to be down for that?
What would you call it? A snake in wolf's clothing?
I think they call that a honey trap.
They do. Honey pot.
Well,
So
we have a lot to work with.
So it seems we have a lot of options, and we just need to choose a path. I
like Tommy's idea of starting with the info on the exhibit itself.
I'm happy to do whatever part you think I should do. All of you have been instrumental in all of this, and frankly speaking, it's rather thrilling. But I don't know that I prefer one of the plans over the other.
It's a group effort, a group dynamic. You've definitely done your fair share as well. Don't think otherwise.
So what do you all think? Shall we go for the paperwork? Shall we try to get Josephine to infiltrate? Shall we arrange a meeting with their leader and ours? Or something else?
To what end is the meeting? If I don't know how much the feds know about the Hambinos, but if we kind of make it obvious that Carlo's something special, all it's going to do is make them look at him harder.
It's true. It'll tip our hands.
It could also put them in his pocket, though. And if the meeting is one-sided, then it could be that if Carlo Hambino doesn't like the way it goes, he offs the leader, and, well, now they're out a leader.
They're out a leader, but then they know that something shady happened, and they're all going to come gunning. They're all going to come gunning for Carlo, and that's going to be bad for us.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no way. I mean, like, there's no way he leaves and doesn't tell them where he's going.
Well, not if he doesn't know where he's going.
Do you think he'd show up if he didn't know where he was going? Because I wouldn't.
If he thought he was showing up for something else, maybe. We could pull something like we did with Stanley.
I think the feds are going to be a whole lot harder to convince to just, hey, come here.
That's fair.
They haven't really been around long enough to know all of the ins and outs that we're doing, and the time frame that they've been here. We've managed to kind of keep a low profile and pin our work on somebody else. But I imagine that there's been some talkers. It's possible that they might have a clue as to what operations we've been a part of, and they're just waiting for us to screw up.
That Johnny America freaks me out. So
Well,
big,
so then if that plans
big ass
out,
bird.
do we think we could trust Josephine, or is that too much of a liability, putting all of that on one person?
Considering we don't know her at all. I mean, it's a really good idea if we can trust her, but we need to figure that out first.
That's I know how to get into things and how to blow stuff up. The whole interacting with other critters, that's guy's thing. You'd have to know, and I completely trust if you have a conversation and find out whether there's interest, whether there's trust, and whatnot. That's a not me thing.
Hopefully, we only need one of those skill sets for this part of the job, Tommy. I think the more we know about the situation, the better we can deal with all those people. It'll give us the upper paw, so to speak.
So, how about this? We get into the admin office, get that figured out first, and make a plan from there. Because I mean, we got time. Time is on our side. Yes, Carlo wants things moved, but one misstep, and we got problems.
I just want to say before starting this job, if at any point there's an opportunity to involve those pedal boats, I'm voting for that. We've walked past them so many times. I see them lazily going across that big pond up there in the neighborhood.
Look, if we don't get a chance to use the pedal boats sometime soon, you and I can go for a ride. All right?
All right. I'm going to hold you to that.
Of course.
Well, let's go steal some documents.
Just know that I'm not peddling.
I can handle that, and I'll wave several of my spinnerets around. So let's see. So you mentioned some of those dogs you mentioned earlier. Those are the people at the administration building, right?
Yes. Smokey Hoot and McGruff.
Do we know if any of them have any affiliation with the family?
They do not.
They work for the human staff, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean, before we go in, we can always take a look at from afar to see when their shift changes or anything like that. Just see, get a read on the situation tonight. Is there any feds on patrol nearby? Because that's pretty close to our hidey hole, right?
So we have to look. Do we have we've got the in with Carlo, and we're doing a job. So the more I don't want to be super lenient on the boss, but the more information we have and the more planning we do, it shows the more that we're thinking. So if we ask the right questions, okay, what dirt do we have? What bribes can we do? Yeah, we can try to just kind of get in all quiet, we've got some leverage.
I hear what you're saying. I feel like this kind of got to prove ourselves here too. I mean, he's got a pretty good thing going with that Zap Club, and if we fail, we're not connected to him in any way. He might be reluctant to lean on his known connections for it. This job that might be why we might be just the disposable, other guys in this whole job.
It is possible that we're sitting out there doing all this, and
we lost Steve.
Oh no.
Sorry, Ted.
No, it's okay. It's possible that we're doing all of this, and once our usefulness is at an end, snip, Carlo cuts the cord, and we're gone. But I don't like to think that that's what Hambinos are going to do.
Maybe while we're in that admin office, we can see if we can take a peek at the Warthog files. Never know what might see.
Mutually assured destruction.
I mean, if we got the time and the opportunity, can't hurt to take a look. Do you need us to turn our cameras on?
Yeah, if you want to do cameras real quick again.
I'm so sorry, my internet just
That's okay. All right, let's see. You leave yours on, then me.
Robin.
Look at that precision. Boom.
Boom.
Already
Doing it
back.
live.
Woo woo.
All right.
Well, if we are officially beginning a job, and we're starting with the admin office, I'm going to see what I know like the back of my hand about that situation before we head into it. If that's what we're doing. Are we like starting a job? It had that beginning of a job feel to me. We're in our hidey hole.
It all just depends on what exactly you guys
I'm asking. That's why I'm talking to the other players.
Yeah.
Are we?
That's what I'm there for.
Yeah. Well, then let's begin this job as we have some.
So,
if you're beginning the job, moves out, everybody.
I'm gonna roll. It's all about timing.
Oh wait, I don't count that die. Okay, it is a 8. No, 6 plus 3, 9. So I get a forward on the scene of my choice. I would say the first thing that we have to do to get into the place.
Okay.
Do this.
So I've got an 11.
I did have doubles.
That's going to give me an ongoing until the situation is resolved.
I did have doubles, but it was my enemy die, which I don't count, but that still matters, right?
Yeah, it does.
It's just that I rolled doubles.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got doubles with the enemy boss.
Was it? So the enemy, none of the other dice were 6s. Then, right?
Oh no, they're not 6s. It's just doubles. Sorry.
Yeah, it says just doubles.
So I got a consequence, and I have to take a back and give a forward.
So it's all forwards. It's whether plus or minuses. So the way that would work, like normally you get a forward of your choice, on your scene of your choice, right?
Yeah.
So you'll still get that, but on the next thing that you roll, you're gonna get a -1 forward, but you can basically cancel them out. But then also it allows you to give one away.
Oh, okay. I'll give my forward to Oliver.
Okay.
Just in case we gotta silence somebody.
All right, and Tommy, how did you do on your starting a job roll?
So I've got an 11. So that is basically a +1 ongoing until the situation is resolved.
Okay, perfect. So what is the plan?
So how did we? I imagine we're gonna, have Cobb do a lookout, make sure the coast is clear.
Got
Possibly.
my binoculars out.
Oliver kind of fly above to make sure there's no wolves playing looky-loo, and then try to sneak in the same way we snuck in before.
Okay. Well, I imagine I'm going to ask for a put your peepers to work roll, and I'm going to ask for that from Cobb.
Okay. Oh, very good, very good. Okay. So it's 13 with doubles.
13 with doubles. All right, so that is a super success, and
there was no sixes. So
yeah,
that's what I mean. Just to be clear, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I know we're 10 sessions in, but like when it says like ally neutral, that means you rolled a 6, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, I just had.
So that'll get you forward on your next roll because you rolled the doubles.
Okay.
Because you succeeded, you're able to actually evade several patrols of flat paws.
Wow, it's that heavy, huh? Like where it's like it's not uncommon to see multiple.
They're running 4 or 5 patrols a night.
Oh man, this is brutal out here. Careful, Tammy.
So you are able to run the gauntlet, if you would,
right.
quite successfully, and you get back to the door that you guys had used to break in before. I'm not even going to make Tommy roll to open the lock because he's opened this lock before.
Nice.
But you do know that that there will be a patrol with Hoot, Smokey, and McGruff, and I believe you guys tricked them last time, but they kind of figured it out towards the end.
Yeah, that's right. So it's like not much time you have between patrols, huh? Is that what you were saying, basically?
Well, so basically, you guys are in. The door's unlocked, and you know that the dogs are going to be wandering around inside.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
And working their beat.
So, could we have brought something that I don't know what we might have had, but something that makes a stink, something to kind of muss up the dog's noses?
Sure. I mean, you could have definitely gone to like one of those skunk enclosures and stuff and been like, "Hey, in this bag, please," or whatever you want to do.
Spray it onto some rags.
Tommy, I know how much you love your explosives. Suppose you made a stink bomb.
That's the problem was, too much bomb. It's a process of, feds. I'm trying to avoid that aspect. Trust me, I got an itch for, the boom.
You could definitely make a stink bomb that is more stink than bomb.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. That shit. It's like more in the stink.
But of course, you're gonna have to give me a sly roll to do it.
All right.
I've seen this guy use dynamite to get a water hose turned on.
Everybody get the tomato soup ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's going to be an 11 with doubles on the ally die and the enemy die.
Oh, so you have the enemy and ally showing.
Yes.
Alrighty. All right. So it is a success. So if you're missing a marker, you can get a marker. But because that enemy boss showed up, that means you do have a consequence, which is in the process you got it on you, so you stink. Now that may affect some of the things you try and do going forward.
Sure. That's
so. How many stink bombs did you want to make?
I'll say 3.
Okay, that is a reasonable number. I will allow that. So basically, what they look like, they're just little. They look like little wax balls that you kind of light, and when you throw them, they kind of smoke. But you've infused them with some of the musks of the stinkier animals in the zoo.
Excellent. And who knows? Maybe it'll even muss up some feds if we need to.
That may be a thing that happens. So, what is your plan for evading local law enforcement in the admin building?
I imagine at first just stealth.
All right. Well, you guys give me a sly roll.
Yeah, I'm going to stick to the ceiling, literally and figuratively, and I will stand in the gaps to go unnoticed.
So for the rest of you, it's get out of a jam to kind of sneak. Well, no, you can use your sly.
Okay. Do I still have my minus forward?
You do have a minus forward, yes.
Okay, then I have an 8.
All right.
Okay.
I have a 14 doubles on the enemy die and the neutral die.
Okay.
Wow, these dice are hot tonight. I have a 9 with doubles. So my ability says mostly unnoticed with a complication.
All right. And Oliver.
7.
All right.
Oh, and I'll give my forward to, who did I give it to last time? Oliver, to Tommy.
Okay. So everyone's going to get a forward for their next thing because of Tommy's role. Except for Tommy, because of his enemy boss that showed up. Tommy is super sneaky throughout this whole thing. You guys make it into the admin office, but whoever is last shuts the door a little bit too loud.
Probably me.
And it just kind of echoes down the hallway.
I was the one that rolled the lowest, so it was probably me.
So we're like creeping along all quiet, and you're like the last one, and it's just like, I freeze immediately, and I stop moving.
Are the blinds already closed in this office? Are there blinds? Maybe that's a good starting question.
There's one blind at the door because it's like a glass and a big window in the door, and they're down.
They are down. Okay.
Yeah. There's some outside windows that have blinds that are down.
Okay. Then can I do a weird thing? But I need to know if the door opens in or out.
I would say the door opens in.
Okay.
That would be weird.
So it's opening in toward us.
Yes, towards the room.
Okay, so I can't use my body to hold it closed. Is there anything in here?
Yeah, we're in the room, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you were laying across and it opens in towards the room, that would keep.
Oh yeah, like a doorstop. I'll just be a doorstop.
Okay. All right, we have one Eve attempting to be a doorstop. What is everybody else doing?
So stupid question, and this is where Ted doesn't know all of inventions and what have you. Do we have flashlights? Is that a 1920s thing? Like,
it is a 1920s thing, but I also think as being animals, you probably have very good senses. So I don't think you're likely to rely on that unless it's but if it's something you want for a particular reason, that is something you could have acquired.
I just, if we're going to look at paperwork, we want to probably be able to see. Now, if there's some kind of light coming in from the hallway, that's, that works. I just, I want to make sure we're getting the right files.
Yeah. So, if you would have thought that you needed a flashlight, I would say it's something you could have brought in with you. Now, the difference between today's flashlights and those flashlights, these things are huge and heavy and literally they're like mag lights, right? Like, so
except not as
durable.
Yeah. And well made. They're like prototypes. I am going to position myself stuck to the wall right above the door frame with a blackjack in hand, just in case.
Okay.
as Tommy is looking through the files and stuff.
All right, and I will.
And what are you doing, Oliver?
What's the light fixture look like in here?
In here, I think they're probably like big overhead fluorescents.
Okay, so nothing to perch on then. File cabinets?
Oh no, they would be big bulky balusters.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm going to land on one of those and just chill up there and bide my time in case you need a swoop in.
Okay. It is at that point that you hear the sounds from outside the door, and you hear snuffling. I definitely smell something. You always smell something. No, really, this time I've smelled the smell before. You guys remember that time? And then the other one's like, "Oh, I think I smell it too. I think they're in here."
Dave, can I spend something to make one of the wolves say he who smelt it dealt it? I don't care. I just need that to happen.
Certainly.
Okay.
So, they're dogs, not wolves, but that's fine.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So one of them goes, "Damn it, Smokey! You smelt it, so therefore you dealt it." And another voice goes, "Who and Smokey, would you knock it off and take the job serious? We can't looking like clowns now. We got the feds all over the place. They think everyone here is corrupt, but it's not true. We're good at our jobs, and we can prove it, even if they did get biased at one time." And they tried the door. So
can I hide?
Well, first I would say, Eve, give me a get out of a jam as you try to hold the door shut.
Okay. 8.
I'm like, don't fuck it up.
Oh wait, if I have a plus, do I have a plus now?
Yes.
You have a forward, yeah.
Okay, 9.
All right. You are holding it. They can't quite get in. But one of them does reach in and smacks you across your nose for one.
Through the door?
Yeah, like they're
like they open
it
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. But Eve they can't get in, but the one did manage to swipe at Eve and kind of get a little bit of their head in. So, Cobb, you said you're positioned above the door?
Yeah.
So you would
So
be
like they clearly they don't, they see that it's not just like they know something's there, like
yes,
a person. Then yeah, I guess I'll say hey, let's speed it up over there, and I'll just reach one of my long spinnerets down with a blackjack and try to bop the whoever just took a pie at Eve on the noggin. Is that a bop?
That is a bop.
Ooh, not good. Let's see. That's wild, which I'm not good at. So
you have a plus one. You have a plus one forward for me.
So 6.
Still fail.
Yeah, no doubles.
No doubles. That's a failure. Instinctually, McGruff, the crime dog, pulls back, causing you to miss, but then lashes out at you with his own flashlight, smacking you across the back of your spinneret for one.
Hey, were we healed up for the last time? Probably, right?
Yes,
it's
been weeks.
Yeah.
So, do I have any of where this file is that I'm looking for?
How good is Tommy's secretary skills?
I don't know. Is it a caper? I'm first.
Well, I think this is the age old question of street smarts versus smart smarts.
So is it Moxie? Is it Sly? I mean,
to search.
Awareness?
Let's see. Give me a get out of a jam because you're trying to think fast.
All right.
Perfect. Yeah, that even a quick decision, man. This game is well made, I must say. If only there was a way to get news about it.
All right, so that's a 9.
If
That's
only
why-
there was a newsletter you could sign
Is
up.
a 9 with doubles? No peoples.
Okay, so 9 with doubles. So you succeed. You're finding it. It's taking a little bit longer. They're gonna have to hold them off a bit. You're gonna take a -1 on the next thing you do, and you can give a +1.
I'll give it to Oliver. He hasn't done anything yet.
Okay. Speaking of Oliver, what do you want to do?
Well, something unorthodox. So they for sure know we're in here, yes?
Yes.
Gentlemen, please. If you would take a moment, I have something that might be of interest to you.
Is it to turn yourselves in?
It does have to do with getting you out from under the Fed's thumbs. Lack thereof.
So, when they mentioned the feds earlier,
Yeah.
it was kind of like, did you hear some admiration in their voice? And disappointment at not living up to their standards?
Well, in that case, I would not have gone this route. I did not realize that. I thought that they were like legitimately like, oh, they're in here, like on our turf for raw. All right. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna claw.
Probably is me. I'll just try to kill them.
Yeah.
Probably is making, I think like the movies were like, ah, man, the feds are here. They're gonna, this is our case.
12 total.
Oh, yeah, you just totally... So McGruff, the one that's kind of been like trying to reach through the door, who's already taken one, you're going to hit him for... How much do you do?
2, I believe.
2 plus another one for a super success. So he is taking 4 and is looking really bad.
Is it worth losing a pie over?
We swore an oath. And
again, is it worth losing a pie over?
So basically, you each get to take one more action, and what's going to happen?
I'm going to try to like intimidate him, just in the, or just.
Okay, start spitting.
All right, convince him in an aggressive way. Oh man, that's pretty good. Okay, so I did get doubles, and what is starts with magnetism? I made that close. So 9 with doubles.
Okay. So you cause them to hesitate. You say, is it worth losing a paw over?
Yeah, I just want him to like question, like, is it? He just got pretty badly clawed back.
Yeah. So they pull back, but they're still there. They seem to kind of be like regrouping. Be like, and the one that's been talking, he's like, my father was a cop before me, and his father before him. We're here to do the job, and one way or another, we're bringing you in. So with that, Tommy, you now have like the folder.
Mm-hmm. So the door is like partially open.
Mm-hmm. No, they pulled back, and so Eve was able to slam the door shut again. But Eve is kind of holding it.
Is there a vent in this room for us to escape out of?
There is a return duct. Yeah.
All right. So I'll point to the duct. I want to, point at the door, point at a stink bomb. Have one person open the door. I chuck out the stink bomb, and we go up the vent.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down with that.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Who pick one of you to be the main person?
I can open the door because I can stick to the wall above and then just scuttle up to the vent from there. So I could just like maybe like pull it open with my front spinnerets.
All right. So I'm gonna say
if you want.
Oliver, Cobb, and Eve. Give me a break it up roll.
Okay.
Tommy's gonna be doing the vent and the bomb. So he's gonna be the make the main role. So you guys are all rolling to assist, and just tell me how you already told me how you want to assist because you're kind of above the door. So I'm gonna say it's a wild. And Eve, how do you want to assist?
Eve starts saying key, and is looking for a key to lock the door now that it's shut.
Oh, so like open it, throw the bomb out, then close and lock it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Like lock it behind you.
So
I'm not sure what.
None of you would have the key. I mean, Tommy could try and lock it, but he's going to be doing other things.
Wait, is there? You're I guess we would know what he's talking about.
Yeah. So it's a keyhole. It's not like a switch.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a latch.
Is there like a letter opener on the desk?
Yeah, sure, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, I'll just tell Eve that. Like, just break that off from the lock. Like, just stick it
I
in.
will try to do that.
Okay. Give me a precision check. And what is Oliver doing?
Talking smack about one of these dogs' grandfathers that they were just talking about. Like, I mean, if the door is closed, I can't swipe at them again. All I can do is try and fluster them.
All right. So that's going to be a magnetism.
All right. So break it up with wild.
I do have the ability that lets me use my wild for start spinning.
Yep. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So
okay. That is once again going to be a dirty 12.
Okay.
As you can see, my strategy in this game is just use wild whenever possible.
I got a 10. No doubles or anything like that.
Okay, and Eve.
So I did get doubles. I would have had a 10, except you told me precision, which is my worst score, and I have a -1 in that. So I got a 9.
Okay. So, Ted, you got a +3 to make this roll.
Okay.
All right.
So what am I rolling?
You're you know what? Since you're doing, it's just a bring the
Commit a
heat
caper? Oh.
because he's using a bomb.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
bring
grenades
the heat.
basically.
All right. So,
Oh, you're probably awesome at that.
well, I've got a +2, but I've got the 1 from my all about timing. So I'm sitting on 6 before dice.
Oh my gosh. There's gonna be a lot of tomato
Let's say
juice to get
13.
used tonight.
Okay, so you guys execute it flawlessly. Eve takes 1 because she cuts herself on the letter opener, but successfully jams it in the lock, and you guys are able to scurry out of the out through the vent. But you do hear a lot of commotion coming from the door where you guys entered the administration building.
Woo!
And also, you got a stack of files. It's like this. It's huge.
Yeah, the first thing I'm doing when we scramble out, or get to the outside is just like making sure there's no claw patrols in sight, like coming down the path or anything before we just go jumping out into it.
Yeah. So take a look. Use the keepers to work.
All right, all 8 of them. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay. What was that awareness? 14, and with doubles. Does the 6 have to be part of the doubles to count?
Yes.
No, as long if a 6 shows up, there's
okay.
6.
So yeah, I got a 14. Right. Yeah, 14 with doubles and the neutral or the ally die.
Oh, yeah. So that's a good for you. So you get
that's a good for you, kid. Oh, I got a marker.
Yeah, you get a marker back. It's super success. You can you have figured out the pattern that the flat paws have been doing throughout the zoo. So
Yeah, so I hold up a
you easily
spinneret.
evade.
Yeah. Was it about the 4 hours? Okay, go. All right.
And you're back. You guys can get back to the hideout if that's where you're going.
The Conservation Action Center.
Okay, so, basically the you have all the records of the movements for this exhibit, and it's been traveling all over the country. But it seems to stay for erratic amounts of durations. Like it's not like 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. Some of them it's like real short, like 2 weeks. Some of them is longer. Like in one instance, it was a year.
Does it say how long they're supposed to be here?
Well, no, it does not. That is the arrival time is marked, but the when they're scheduled to leave is blank.
Oh, so that means we can write it in.
But then we'll have to break back in.
That was the plan. We knew we were going to have to put it back.
Oh.
We wanted to examine it and be able to kind of figure this out. So what are we thinking here? We give them 2 more weeks of harassing Al Capone and Machine Gun Otto. Chance to settle in and us to kind of enjoy the Zap Club before we say arrivederci.
That sounds amenable.
Did I overhear that it's leaving in 2 weeks?
That's what I'm hearing. Sounds like.
Well, that's interesting.
You overheard Tommy say that he wants them to leave in 2 weeks. So
So you don't have to repeat it all yourself.
Okay.
I could kind of hear where it was going.
Hmm.
I'll pick it up.
That was quite the rush.
I know that a lot of the times that I've been doing my break-ins, you've been off with the with one of the others doing your thing. This is normally what happens. We figure it out.
Well, you're very good at what you do.
It's our first job where we all did it together.
It is.
I'll raise a peanut rum to that. You still got any
Don't
of
get
that
too
left around here?
sentimental.
It was a long time ago when we first started getting together. I don't think we've ever all been together at the same time.
Do we got any tomato juice or anything back there? I think I need to get a.
Yeah, man.
Do I have tomato juice?
I don't know. Do you? You might have to call in a favor.
I think I'm going to try to call on a favor.
Commissary is going to be light on tomato juice tomorrow.
No, you can definitely find some tomato juice to soak Tommy in. So what is the plan for getting the files back in? The place is crawling with feds on the outside now.
Why do we have to get him back in?
Because we got to fill in the date on the paperwork to say that
Oh.
a couple of weeks, and then
Oh, that was you saying about a couple of weeks.
yeah.
Well, if there were a distraction elsewhere, one of us could sneak in and deliver it. Possibly a distraction involving some pedal boats.
If a couple of miscreants took those for a joyride, that might very well draw the Fed's attention.
Especially if they were just firing guns loudly while doing so.
But what if they catch us?
Wasn't
Maybe
that
we
part of
leave the
plan?
guns at home, and if we get caught, I'll spend a night in Clink. If it'll bite.
I
Whoever
don't know
enough
about the
time.
rest of you, but I can swim quite well.
Oh, I can't. I don't want to get out of that boat.
I'd prefer not to test that theory.
Well, you can fly. You can just leave the boat as you would.
Fair. Cobb, I got you.
That would allow
Okay.
Tommy to break in.
So you three gonna go that way, and I do solo.
I say yes.
You think you're okay with that, Tammy?
I mean, most of the time, a lot of these missions, I've had somebody along, in case there's an issue.
What about your brother? I mean, do we have to go back in right now? Are we doing this like the same night?
I certainly think we could, give it a day or so, let things cool off. I don't think this paperwork should sit out too long.
Can you get in touch with your brother?
Sneaking him in might be a bit, of a dodgy situation.
Has he been to the Zap Club?
He has been a couple of times, but it would require us getting to the Zap Club, getting a message to him, getting him. I'd rather just.
Okay.
If we're waiting for a little bit, can I ask a question, Dave?
You may.
Do the feds know that our group is kind of a group to watch out for?
You don't actually know. You don't know if you're on a Fed list, a watch list or not.
And if
Okay.
you have a record?
Could I find out?
You can certainly try.
Okay.
There's some
'Cause
sealed
my
files.
thought is, so where I'm going with this, just to let everybody know, my thought is if they know about us and that we're a thing, then we could get Tommy's brother to stand in for Tommy on the boat while Tommy's breaking in. So that way they don't wonder, well, where's the otter of the group?
That's pretty great. You're pretty smart.
All right. What am I rolling?
Let's see. I feel like you might have an ability that covers this.
I have ace in the hole, but it's for like once per job, and I don't know if this is a new job.
Yeah,
Because I kind of already used it at the club and failed.
Yeah.
Like at the very beginning.
So I will say for you, my friend, give me, let's just do a magnetism check.
Okay. Okay. That's not terrible. It's not great. Well, I mean,
That's
it's
a good one.
okay. Oh, it's magnetism. Never mind. It is great. 12.
Okay.
I was looking at precision still.
So tell me about this contact that might be able to get information about the feds.
So I have a contact that gives information about the feds, you said?
So no, you tell me about this contact that might have some information for you about the feds.
So Eve doesn't know anything about this contact, in fact. And so when she meets in a dark alleyway, she is shocked to learn that it is Josephine.
Okay.
Interesting.
And that Josephine is informing on the other wolves. So, yeah.
What were you trying to find out again?
Trying to find out if they know about us.
Oh, yeah.
As a
Okay.
group.
That's just, yeah.
All right. So Josephine Barker.
Sorry, I just took a main character.
That's fine. So, okay. So Horace is the one when you start putting out your feelers. Horace is like I think I know somebody, but they're very particular about who they deal with. I can't just tell you who they are, and they're not going to operate through a third party. So they totally set up a meeting between you and this person, Josephine Barker, who it turns out to be. Where would have you tried to set the meeting up at?
I think I probably would have gone to the Zap Club because I thought it was safest.
Okay. So you're like waiting around the Zap Club and you're like, when is this person going to show up? And you're kind of looking around, and you're not paying attention to the stage. You don't know. You don't even really notice when the singing stops. The piano's still going, and you're kind of maybe a little startled as a clink of a glass slides across the table where you're sitting. Oh, honey, it's you. As Josephine Barker sits across from you. Well, of course, it's me.
I mean, I guess I don't know what else I expected, but my goodness.
Well, you know what they say about birds of a feather.
Yes. And about wolves in various clothing. I don't know. I'd be fascinated to hear the story of how this came about.
Ah, yes. Well, I've been, I was sent here quite some time ago by the feds to infiltrate one of the families. And I did just what I was hired to do, what I was ordered to do, but I underestimated Carlo, and he figured it out, and he had been watching me for a while, and he learned a lot of things about my personal life, things that I didn't necessarily want to be part of a public life. And he made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. Do you notice that? Did you not notice that the Hambino family is the only one that hasn't been directly impacted by the feds yet?
I did.
Well,
I was wondering.
There's a reason for that.
I see.
But what is it? Horace wanted you to meet with me, and I trust Horace. I've worked with him before. He's a good and honest fellow as far as honest goes for this line of work. What is it I can do for you?
I was wondering if your pack was aware of my pack as such.
You and yours have made quite the name for yourselves amongst the Hambino family. But not even the other families are really all that aware of you yet, except for Oliver.
I am back just in time to hear my name spoken. I had to plug my headphones and they died.
Except for Oliver, which is very well known to Al Capone, from my understanding. But the rest of you have kind of been flying under the radar or causing quite the stir and not leaving anyone alive to talk about it afterwards. So I don't think they know about you and your crew yet.
In all fairness, we don't do a lot of killing. We only defend ourselves, really.
If you say so, honey. And she gives you a wolfish grin.
I do. And I give her a snake-like grin.
Yeah.
Retribution
with like a baby flick of the tongue.
Yeah. So, she nonchalantly mentions, and she like kind of puts a cigarette in her mouth and leans in. You got a light?
Always. And she will pickpocket one from somewhere nearby.
So you flick the lighter, and she lights the cigarette and draws in and blows out smoke rings from her nose. Haven't seen so many monkeys around lately.
Well,
yeah, we do.
When monkeys corner a snake, well, I'm sure you can do the math.
Yeah, I've also heard of otters doing quite the number on them as well.
Especially that Otto with his machine gun.
He can be quite terrible.
Yes. Tell me, what is your stake in all of this? Do you want to be here?
Just a working gal trying to make her way in the world, and I just like to sing.
I mean, I can empathize with that.
But unfortunately, being a woman in this day and age, everyone's trying to make you sing for them and dance for them. So I do my best to play them all against each other and carve out my little slice of the world.
That's how it seems many of us have been dealt in this life.
Well, honey, us girls got to stick together.
Indeed. Curiously, you don't happen to know of a certain koala journalist, do you?
I mean, there's only one in the zoo, so she's also one of the most prominent reporters in the zoo as well. So you must be talking about Alice.
I am. I have made friends with her, but let's just say I've come to realize I'm maybe a little toxic for her. My snake venom and all that, we'll say.
I didn't think constrictors were poisonous.
No, we're not. Clever you. But I do think she could do with a friend that's maybe a little better than me.
And you think that friend is me? And she kind of looks around the club and gives you that, wolf smile.
I think she's lonely. And I think you're lonely. And I think the two of you might enjoy each other's lonely company together.
That might be true, but a gal like that, I'm pretty sure she's married to the job, And she would struggle to be with anyone. And I think the same problems that you offer to Alice, I would only offer the same.
Well, that's fair, but just thought I might make a suggestion if you needed a friend who was not necessarily part of the biz.
Yeah, if I was going to pick a friend that's not part of the biz, I don't think it would be a reporter. It's a bit of a conflict of interest.
But conflict does make stories so much more delicious, doesn't it?
Yes, I think that's the problem. That's good. That's why I think if Alice needs a friend, she needs to find one either from her world or from outside of ours. That'd probably be, the safest for her.
Maybe she'll meet a nice lady from the pet shop.
And with that, she kind of gives you a bit of a grin and a wink when you say pet shop. And I think it's time for my next set. Would you join me?
I would love to. And I enjoyed this drink and nothing more. And she kind of gives her a knowing look.
Okay. So
and then we'll join her for her set.
Okay, so you guys do the thing, and then you can make your way back. But yeah, so you got the information you were looking for. You found the feds are not onto you guys yet, and also it seems like the Hambino family as a whole, it seems to have been a bit shielded.
Okay, I will inform everybody of that, and so I will inform Tommy as a result. You could very well bring your brother into this if you want. I don't think any of us would oppose. But do know that they're currently only aware of Oliver by extension of Al Capone.
So I think that doesn't change my thoughts on how much time it would take to set up to get him in here just for an extra pair of hands. I've worked solo before I found all of you. I'm willing to.
And it also sounded like Torrance is working for Pretty Boy Flood and has some obligations anyway.
And I don't know if this is too late to say, but Tommy would have looked at the vent route that he did to kind of get out, because I knew we were having to file back when we're done. So if I could sneak back in the same way, would have less situations of dealing with dogs than the way we went in just this last time.
Yeah, I kind of figured you were going to do that anyway. So is this something you guys are doing the next night?
I think so.
Okay.
So we want to make sure we change the paperwork first, right? Make
Yep.
sure we do that in a legit way, and then sneak that back in while we cuss.
So yeah.
I think, right? That sounded like the plan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So one of the things you learned the next day, just kind of like, I feel like the animals have their own system of getting information through the exhibits, is the administration building never opened today. Apparently there was some mishap with a skunk or something. So it's being, it's going to be closed for the next couple of days to be fumigated.
Oh, wow. Okay. Next couple of days. That buys us some serious time.
Mm-hmm. That stink bomb worked double duty.
2 more if I need it.
That's it, duty.
I'm glad you said it, Doug, because I've had way too many immature points today.
Even though it was actual skunk essence or whatever. So did you have to milk the skunk for that, or?
Nah, they sprayed into a rag for me over here.
You don't want to know how he has to.
We'll find out next time.
I mean, such a spectacle sounds like a must-see.
Oh man, that'd be good. It's a must-see TV. Yeah, that'd be a
Not nearly as black and white as you might think.
promo for this.
Oh
So
Now with smell-o-vision.
Scratch and snip. Make the book scratch.
So how do you want to organize this job, like this part of the job?
Were you serious about the paddle boat thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think, especially with Eve getting that info that they don't know about us. Now, I'm a little worried because I might be sealed records about me in South America, y'all. I don't know if they catch me. But I think I would leave up my guns and all that at home.
Okay.
And just take them for a joyride, because, I mean, even if we get caught, then what, we're just...
All you're doing is using the boats.
Yeah, right. It's like, I don't want to get caught, but we won't have guns or any weapons on us or anything.
So do we have like firecrackers or anything that you might be able to like set off to make it sound like there's gunfire, but when they get there, you're not going to have any guns? So like, clearly wasn't you. But it could draw the attention.
Can I get my hands on anything like that?
If only we had an explosives expert that could give us such a thing.
Well, I mean, we had time to plan, so I don't know if that's something I would be able to either.
I think I would. I think even that might be too much. I'll just go out there and start hooting and hollering and making a spectacle of myself.
I mean, it is prohibition, so if we act drunk out there.
Yeah, what are the I mean, I don't want to get too noodly with like, what is the laws and everything, but like, what would it be like? Just public intox, basically, like not having any on us or anything like that.
Yeah, probably like a misdemeanor. Or next session we'll be doing court TV.
Yeah, we'll just tell them we got it at some one of our.
So,
right. So yeah, I think that's the plan, right? Tommy's gonna sneak back in alone while Eve and I cause a spectacular distraction on those pedal boats.
You and I and Oliver.
Yes.
So you guys grabbing one boat, multiple boats?
I think just maybe one.
Yeah, one is probably enough because I can't pedal.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do the pedaling.
Okay. So with that, Ted, Tommy, give me a slide to sneak back in.
All right, so I will ask, is this part of the same situation
It
that
is.
I rolled? All right, excellent.
We're on the same job.
All right, just making sure. All right, dear Lord. That's double sixes again, ally and enemy, but that is a 15.
15?
It's 11 plus 4. My sly is 3, and I've got the +1 ongoing, plus the 11.
And you said enemy and ally?
Enemy and neutral.
Enemy and neutral. Okay. All right. Well, you definitely have a success. And that would normally be take a -1 forward, and everyone gets a +1 forward. Ooh. So, since you're operating on your own, I don't say there's no one to give it to you for you to give to right now, but you will successfully get in, and deliver the files back to where they go. Now you guys, you know what? I'm going to say this. You guys are kind of like doing your own gig here, so
we're just causing a ruckus, pedaling around, just going in circles in the middle of the pond, just like hollering.
I'm gonna make it start. I'm gonna make it a start spitting roll, right? Like you guys are just trying to cause a commotion.
Yeah.
Now, are you sure this isn't a wild roll? I had to play with words.
I rolled triples.
Wow. Again, didn't you do that last time too?
Yes, I did it last time, and now I did it again. I rolled triple 4s this time.
Oh, okay, yeah. Triple 4s.
So 4 plus 4 plus what are we rolling?
Magnetism.
Plus 2, so 10.
Success.
I just barely got a 7, so no doubles. So just a plain old success with a consequence. So I get a -1. Oh no! Well, I had a forward, so I mean it's still the same result.
Okay.
So -1, and then I give a +1. I'll give it to Oliver. All right.
Oh, I got a 10 total.
Yeah. So you guys are hooting and hollering. One patrol shows up on one side, so you guys begin paddling to the other side. So another patrol shows up over there. So you get to the point where you guys are completely like boxed in, and they're like, "You've got nowhere to go. Bring back the boat."
That actually sounded like it was coming over a PA when you said that. Yeah, I'll bring it. I guess. All right, should we try to get away?
No, we just leave the boat where it is, and then I fly away with you, and he swims off.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Them away.
Stop or I'll shoot. Give me a get out of the jam.
They're going to shoot. All right. Come on. Oh, I got a minus going into it. What does it get out of jam?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at that. Okay, max. So just a wash with it.
Okay.
Ooh, that's real good.
I know, right?
I have a minus. 10.
Okay.
12.
8.
Don't drop me in the water, man.
I'm not gonna drop you in the water.
So, Oliver, you can either be grazed, or you can drop Cobb in the water.
Oh,
hit me. Let's do this.
Oh no! They said let's do this. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
That's how you know your crew is tight.
Yeah. So you just take 2 as a revolver grazes your wing.
It was just a paddle boat.
Shoot from a revolver. Those guys are crack shots.
They are
Yeah,
they
the
are
owl-
good.
Yeah.
And
Hey, thanks for that, Oliver. I say as we flap away into the night.
and it's kind of easy for Tommy to make it back to his enclosure or the hideout due to the fact that there's a huge commotion going on the other side of the zoo.
Hooligans leaving boats out in the middle of the waters.
Please tell me we vandalized it before we left.
Well, what did you do? Did you tag it? How did you vandalize it? Did you put a
Leave some
hole in it?
pellets.
Absolutely, just put some like vulgar paint on there.
Yeah, so
Here.
you're totally able to do that. So with that, you guys make it back to your hideout. The files have been returned and upgraded ish. The feds days are numbered now. And the next day in the Zoo Dally, there's a story about the Swan boat swindlers who took them out for a ride and vandalized one of the zoo's beloved swan boats. And with that, I think that's where we're going to leave it for this evening. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us. As always, if you want more information about Zoo Mafia, the newsletter link is in the description down below. So go sign up for that. We will be putting out the quick start rules for it so that you can check it out before everybody else does. And as always, we'll be back here Friday afternoon. And we will be hanging out with Professor Dungeon Master from Dungeon Craft. So until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Nerdy.